RMAFC interactive session with the Surveyor General of the Federation held recently.
A high point of the number of letters that come from here every now and then asking for clarification of one issue or the other. Their office, that of the Boundary Commission, always bombarded. And when we visited, there was a request, because we did emphasize that even in the issue of vertical allocation formula, that we could not separate land area from terrain because we don't have the data, because it has not been. Then the issue of what actually is the land area of Nigeria today, given the Bakassi experience and given our experience in Adamawa, where we also gained some into Nigeria, in Bakassi, lost some to Cameroon. So at that point, you said that Rampart should put in words. That your request was also the same thing from National Boundary Commission, because funding was key. And given my experience in national boundary matters, like I explained, having been Commissioner for Lands, having been Deputy Governor and member of the National Boundary Team that worked on a number of boundary issues, we realized that it was necessary for us to strengthen this collaboration further. And I'm happy that we have you here today, reliving our experiences in those dicey and critical boundary areas that we were able to resolve. Sir, as you may have heard from the ad hoc committee, this is very critical, not just for us, not just for the states and the local governments, but for the federation. Because when we have correct data, when we have accurate maps, we wouldn't have the kind of cases that continues to bog us down here.
Trying to achieve now is how we go to the cloud. And this took us last week to Galaxy Backbone. But unfortunately, we didn't have provision for it this year. And Galaxy Backbone said they were set up to make money. So for them, if you want to go to the cloud, go and do your own work very well and come and shake hands with us with what you have, then you go to the cloud. But I'm very sure by God's grace we'll get there. But we have virtually all the data. What might interest us is if you purchase a property for federal government and it was originally a federal government property, we still keep the data. So that when there is litigation, even when you bring the document that now assigns that to you as a person, let's assume that somebody now contending, the court may ask the right to say, okay, who subdivided? Bring the original map of that place, at least showing the boundary. So we keep all this data and we have them in our kit. On the issue of have one state concord, no sir, no sir, they will not. And that was why I said that exercise is inconclusive. Because we have encouraged states, we can't make law on surveying. They can make law on surveying. Then it is for both of us to come together and now say, okay, if what you are claiming is right or is wrong, let us go on the ground for verification. Another question is the question of the relationship between Boundary Commission, Office of Surveyor General of the Federation. Office of Surveyor General of the Federation gave back to Boundary Commission. That is the truth about this. Because we have lot of information on boundaries. So we now said, okay, if other states in the sense of countries now, excise the history of boundary away from the job of demarcation and delimitation of the field is good for us. That was why the early 3 DG of boundary commission were actually picked or seconded from Office of Surveyor General to boundary commission. But the case in Nigeria is where you know your way. You will see a child that you gave back to will now start rapping with you that are his parents, and in some instances surpasses you. There was a time the commission was so blessed and so many things were happening. But of late, they now have to apply to the Office of Surveyor Federation for surveyors to start doing the interpretation. And the reason is not far-fetched. It is only the president that will appoint the Auditor General of the Federation, the Accountant General of the Federation, and the Surveyor General of the Federation. And part of the mandate is the office shall now continue to post and send surveyors or accountant or auditor to MBAs, and that is the law. That is the law. So that is the relationship between our office and boundary. But we have a very cordial relationship. In fact, Oga Adaji was a director when I was just mere a level 10 or 12 officers. So, and that is the respect we have for him. And equally is a surveyor. And that is why of late, when we produce map, whoever is a surveyor in MBC has equal right to sign on it, because it professes one thing, which is the seal. And it is the seal that determines who is the surveyor. It is the seal that determines who is the surveyor.
You've talked about those treaties that define a boundary and some other things. We are lay people. Can you also avail it to us so that we can be better educated on this issue?
But the interpretation is not much.
Okay.
Because like when we're working on people, I don't think I've ever for one day laid my hand on official province plan of 1912.
Wow.
But when they mentioned it in the treaty, behold, we went in search of it and we found it. So these are some of the things that when they now give, and looking at the constant, when I went before the Supreme Court, I told them that that point in the first instance is a subject of contravention, controversies on its own. It will have moved from that time to now, sir. It will have moved a bit. But if you want to know the exact location, in which direction are we going? So these are things I said, but these are things that we need to actually go back and determine that position. Not that from a cane of stones at a particular dimension, at a particular distance, you will now find maybe a tree. The tree will grow. It will increase in size. And again, one thing we don't like to talk about is rivers changing its course. When the river changes its course, it will give some state more land. It will take some land from another state. So these are things that if we fail to demarcate and put permanent leaking in place, even when we have that the river is changing its course, but if we have aligned the pillars at a certain distances, it's a matter of going back to that pillar and take their coordinate and recalculate, because the river will always change its course, and that is what gives some state more land, taking more land from another state. And it's a natural thing. We don't have control over it. that's why we always appeal that these are things we should permanently relate to us and not coming back to revisit. Because when the partnership piece is formed, that I think that was going to be, hey, about internal boundary, they have that issue with the partnership. Oh, no, sir. It changes to the extent that we could not imagine. We now have to go back and get images of yesteryears, and we now need to explain that, okay, oh, we are very sorry, you are brothers. This is where the river is now. We went through the river bank, we picked the coordinate and plotted it. And we now plot it vis-a-vis the imagery of 10 years, the imagery of 20 years, and we can see, was it not close to about 10 kilometers away?
Thank you very much again, once again. I think we have come to the end of this session. On this note, I think I want to thank you sincerely, you and your team, for really agreeing to come to us.